Namo Arihantam. Namo Siddhanam. Namo Ayarihanam. Namo Vajjayanam. Namo Loe Savasahunam. Mangalam Bhagavan Viro. Mangalam Gautamo Gani. Mangalam Kunda Kundadyo. Jaina Dharmostu Mangalam. Sarva Mangala Mangalyam. Sarva Kalyana Karakam. Pradhanam Sarva Dharmanam. Jainam Jaitu Shashanam. Jainam Jaitu Shashanam. Jainam Jaitu Shashanam. After a gap of almost 2 weeks, we are meeting again. And this week, we'll be completing all the 3 chapters that are left over in the Vitrag Vigyan part 3. And so we will have one extra class on Friday at 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. You must have seen that 3 questions given as LCPA, life-changing practical application. If anybody needs any kind of help, they are always welcome. I will help them out. First, you try by yourself. If you are not able to make out what exactly they are asking, then you can always ask me. So that is going on right now, and the last date is, I think, what it was, 21 days. So 15th or 16th June, I suppose. So you should always start doing it. Even 1 page will be enough for me. Not this 1 page. This is a LCPA. So you have to write all the 3 questions, and you don't have to write it. You have to just send me on voice message. Okay. So you don't have to write anything. You have to just voice message me all the 3 answers, and then I will check it. After that, we will start this concept clarity 3. We will be completing the syllabus today itself. Not today, this week itself. But I'll give you some more time. So once we are on the verge of completing this LCPA, then we will start this concept clarity 3, and that is all about first semester. Now only objectives are left, and that will start in anyways from July 8th. So we'll be revising, of course. We'll be touching that Shakahar and Namokar mantra also. So first I would like to touch Namokar mantra, and then Shakahar. And then if the time remains, then we'll be doing, I'll be sending you across Vitrag Vigyan 1 and 2 new versions. So these are all very simple, and you can read by yourself. And if you have any questions, you are always welcome to ask. So today's chapter is Das Lakshan Dharma, the great festival of 10 virtues. So this is that kind of festival which is eternal. It is going on since time immortal. There is no beginning of this chapter, and there is no end to this festival. So this festival and then the Ashtanika, these are all eternal. They are from time immortal, and they are going to continue in the future also. So very important. In fact, Ashtanika is not that important. Everyone does not celebrate that Ashtanika, but whoever is a Jain, they do celebrate this Das Lakshan Mahaparva. So it is also called as Paryushan, predominantly in the Shwetambar sect. They have 8 days festival, and we do have 10 days festival. And these are the 10 virtues which a monk reproduces in his manifestation by taking shelter in the self. So these these 10 virtues are actually the 10 attributes of each soul. So in this chapter, there is a conversation between two friends, Jinesh and Vinod, and Jinesh is more learned and educated than Vinod, and Vinod is absolutely ignorant about this 10 virtues of religion. So I'll just read through. In fact, this whole chapter consists of 10 different virtues of the soul, and it's based on them. So you will have some common kind of definitions, both from the real point of view and also from the conventional point of view. So we will have one Nischay Uttam Shama Dharma, and then there is Vyavhar Uttam Shama Dharma. So we'll begin. Jinesh, Vinod, will you come with me to the temple? Vinod, no, I intend to go to the picture. Picture means, he means cinema, okay? Or the movie today. This was written around 40 years ago. So at that point of time, the only mode of entertainment for a layman was this cinemas. There was no TV, there was no mobile, no internet. So whatever was there in terms of entertainment, where the cinemas were very popular, and there were dramas also, which were also very popular, but not like cinemas. Cinemas has a mass following, but dramas, very few people used to go. Jinesh, why? Because I am somewhat disturbed today. There will be some merrymaking there. क्योंकि आज आत्मा में शांति नहीं है, कुछ मनोविनोद हो जाएगा. So this is the Hindi version which I am reading along with the English version at some places, just to make it more clear for you. So this is a conversation between two friends, wherein one friend is intending to go to the cinemas and the other one is going to the temple. So the one who is going to the cinema, he says, I am a bit disturbed today, mentally disturbed. So if I go to a movie, then there will be some merrymaking there. So there will be some kind of enjoyment there. And uh, of course, this will be a distraction from the disturbance that I'm having right now. Jinesh, you are out to find peace in the pictures? Pictures means cinemas. Cinema is conducive to attachments and aversions, leading to unhappiness. So, cinema is conducive, okay, to attachment and aversions, rag and dvesh, and that leads to unhappiness. Thus, Lakshan festival has also begun. So this is called thus Lakshan because there are 10 days, it's a 10 days festival, and on each day, different kind of virtue is being discussed. ये दिन तो धर्म आराधना के है. During these days, people engage themselves in spiritual reflections, prayers, fasting, and other observances of religious nature, and spend the whole day in self-study and discussions of the nature of the fundamentals. इन दिनों सब लोग आत्मचिंतन, पूजन पाठ, व्रत उपवास आदि करते हैं एवं पूरा दिन स्वाध्याय, तत्व चर्चा आदि में बिताते हैं. Generally, the purpose of each religious festival is to develop feelings of detachment from worldly affairs. But this festival is particularly meant for meditation of the attributes of the soul. So each religious festival basically leads to detachment from worldly affairs. But this particular festival is meant for meditation of the attributes of the soul. अतः यह वितरागी पर्व संयम और साधना का पर्व है. So sadhana is meditation and sanyam. So this detachment from worldly affairs is sanyam. Then next, festival means an auspicious time, pavitra avsar, a holy occasion. Okay, auspicious time means mangal kal. In reality, rise of the feelings of detachment with faith in the nature of the soul is real observance of the festival. Okay, वास्तव में तो अपने आत्म स्वभाव की प्रतीति पूर्वक वीतरागी दशा का प्रकट होना ही यथार्थ पर्व है, क्योंकि वही आत्मा का मंगलकारी है और पवित्र अवसर है. Because that is instrumental to the complete liberation of the soul. So the real observations of this festival is instrumental to the complete liberation of the soul, which in itself is a holy occasion. Being connected with the 10 virtues of supreme forbearance, etc. This is called the great festival of 10 virtues. Das Lakshana Parva. So this is why this name, because this is connected with the 10 virtues of supreme forbearance, then there is modesty, supreme modesty, then supreme straightforwardness. So these are 10 different kinds. What is the religion of 10 virtues? So the names are given here. Having perfect faith in the self, to develop supreme conduct, and thus engaging in its pursuit in 10 ways is the religion of 10 virtues. Okay, so fundamentally or basically, religion is only of one type, but here it is called of 10 different types just because there are 10 virtues, okay, which is being here manifested in the state of existence of the soul, and these are 10 different qualities of the soul itself. So having perfect faith in the self. So the first condition is the perfect faith. Samyak darshan पूर्वक ही 10 लक्षण धर्म की आराधना हो सकती है. So having perfect faith in the self to develop supreme conduct. Yeah, supreme conduct is charitra. Okay, uttam charitra. And thus engaging in its pursuit. आराधना करना ही 10 लक्षण धर्म है. Its pursuit in 10 ways is the religion of 10 virtues. These 10 virtues are in Tattvad Sutra. This is taken from Tattvad Sutra. In Tattvad Sutra, chapter 9, Sutra number 6, all the 10 names are given in one line, one sutra. Uttam, Shama, Mardav, Arjav, Soch, Satya, Sanyam, Tap, Tyag, Akinchan, Brahmacharyani, Dharma. These 10 virtues are supreme forbearance. It is also known as supreme forgiveness. Then there is supreme modesty, supreme straightforwardness is a supreme arjav, modesty is mardav, supreme contentment is supreme purity or soch dharma. Then we have supreme truth. Then we have supreme self-restraint. Then we have supreme austerity or supreme penance. Tap, uttam tap. Supreme tap, uttam tap. Then we have supreme renunciation, that is tyag. Then we have supreme possessionlessness, ankinchan, or the supreme non-possession. Then the last one is supreme celibacy or brahmacharya, uttam brahmacharya. So these 10 names are quite okay. One or two, there are better names, words available, so that I have just explained you. Kindly explain these 10 virtues more clearly. Yes, please listen to him. Please listen to me. in the absence of the intensest type of passion. So what is this intensest type of passion? Anantanubandhi Kashai. Anantanubandhi is the intensest type of passion, which leads to infinite bondage, Anantanubandhi, and births, and obstruct self-realization, and the other two of some lesser intensity. The sentient monks developed a pure state of conduct. अनंतानुबंधी आदि तीन कसाई के अभाव में ज्ञानी मुनिवरों को जो विशिष्ट चारित्र की शुद्ध परिणति होती है, निश्चय से उसे उत्तम क्षमा मार्दव आदि 10 धर्म कहते हैं। और उस भूमिका में मुनिवरों को सहज रूप से जो क्षमा आदि रूप शुभ भाव होते हैं, उन्हें व्यवहार से उत्तम क्षमा आदि 10 धर्म कहते हैं, जो कि पुण्य रूप है। In the absence of the intensest type of passion, which leads to infinite bondage and births and obstructs self-realization, and the other two of some lesser intensity, the sentient monks developed a pure state of conduct. So this pure state of conduct is actually true religion, okay? True religion of 10 virtues. From the real perspective, that purity means acquisition of 10 virtues, okay? So from the real perspective, Nishchay say that purity means acquisition of 10 virtues of supreme forbearance, etc. So etc. means all the 10 names they are looking at. And the feelings of merit. So there is this purity that is being manifested, and along with that purity, there is auspicious sentiments that is also going simultaneously. And the feelings of merit or auspicious for the observation of these 10 virtues that arise in the minds of the monks are conventional virtues which lead to merit. So these 10 conventional virtues leads to merit, punya bandh. And from the real perspective, that purity is the true religion. Okay, so two things going on simultaneously. One is the true religion, which is mostly in a monk state. There are absence of 3 levels of passions. Okay, so there is only one mild passion called Sanjwalan Kashai, which is going on, and rest 3 are not there. And those monks, they manifest these 10 virtues in themselves. So this conventional virtues is binding auspicious karma, and the real, from the real point of view, the 10 virtues are the pure manifestations. Okay, Shuddhopyog. The word supreme indicates the presence of right faith. उत्तम शब्द निश्चय सम्यक दर्शन पूर्वक के अर्थ में आता hai. So these 10 virtues are for those enlightened soul, uh, uh, predominantly for a monk.
Guruji, what is austerity?
Now there is a difference of from the real point of view, and then there will be a definition from the Vyavhar point of view.
Guruji, hello.
Intrinsically, with the support of the eternal forbearance minded supreme soul, with the support of the eternal forbearance minded supreme soul, to observe the intensest type of anger. Okay, anger is krodh. So when you manifest this supreme forgiveness, then of course that the intensest type of anger uh, of the first three categories in the line of passions is supreme forbearance.
What is austerity?
In the event of slender and injury to the body. So slender is ninda and injury is sarir ghat. And other undesirable associations not to be overpowered by sinful anger, but to maintain supreme forbearance on all such occasion is conventional forbearance or conventional forgiveness.
Sorry, Rajesh Bhai.
So this is the first of the 10 qualities, and that is about forgiveness or the forbearance. Then we move on to the second one. So first one is opposite of krodh. The second one is opposite of man. The third one is opposite of maya. And the fourth one is opposite of lobh. Krodh, man, maya, lobh. And uttam shama, uttam mardav, uttam arjav, and the last one is uttam soch. Okay. So in the event of slender injury to the body and other undesirable association, not to be overpowered by sinful anger, but to maintain supreme forbearance on all such occasion is conventional forbearance. So there was a undesirable association of this sinful anger, but not to get carried away and manifest supreme forgiveness or supreme forbearance is conventional forbearance. Likewise, intrinsically with the support of the eternally modesty, Nischay Mardav Swabhavi, eternally modesty minded pure soul. Okay? So Mardav Swabhavi Atma, to observe the intensest type of pride. ठीक है, तो तीन कषाय चौगड़ी का त्याग. Okay, intensest type of pride of the first three categories. So there are 4 levels of passions. First one is Anantanubandhi Kashai, which goes off at 4th spiritual stage of development. Then there is Apratyakhana Varan Kasai, which goes off in the 5th stage of spiritual development. Then there is Pratyakhyana Varana Kashai, which goes off in the 6th and 7th stage of spiritual development. And then there is this Sanjulan Kasai, which remains throughout the monkhood stage, and ultimately in the 10th stage of spiritual development, this also gets destroyed, and then complete passionlessness stage is being manifested. Likewise, intrinsically, with the support of the eternally modesty-minded pure soul, to observe the intense type of pride of the first three categories in the line of passions is supreme modesty. Uttam Shama, Uttam Mardav. So, Mardav is against which Kashai? Man Kashai. The accompanying conventional modesty consists in not having 8 types of pride, okay, that develop due to high caste, jati ka mad, kul ka mad, and then there is buddhi ka mad, aishwarya ka mad, then there is kul, jati, roop, looking, look, and Gyan ka mad, knowledge. So there are 8 types of pride, okay. So when a soul is not having that 8 types of pride that develop due to high caste, etc., and to have merit of modesty in our behavior. So this is the conventional modesty. And the first one was that eternal modesty, that was the real point of view modesty, or the real modesty, we can say. Then we are moving on to the third. What is this straightforwardness? Uttam Arjav. Intrinsically, with the support of the eternally straightforwardness minded pure soul, to observe the intensest type of deceitfulness of the first 3 categories in the line of passions is supreme straightforwardness. Okay. So this is Arjav. The accompanying conventional straightforwardness consists in having merits of sincere simplicity, abandoning demerits of deceit and dishonesty. So this is the third one. Then we move on to the fourth one. Likewise, real supreme contentment consists in abjuring the intense type of greed of the first 3 categories in the line of passions by taking refuge in the supreme contentment minded self. Okay. So the refuge is being taken on the self, our soul. And the accompanying conventional contentment consists in complete avoidance of avarice and developing the highest type of contentment in day-to-day behavior. Okay. So complete, this is about the Uttam Soch. Then we move on to the fifth one. Uttam Shama, Mardav, Arjav, Soch, Sanyam, Tap, Tyag, Akinchan, Brahmacharya. So now we move on to the Sanyam, self-restraint. In the same manner, supreme self-restraint consists in the absence of the 3 stages of the intense type of passions. Why everywhere it is mentioned 3 stages of the intensest type of passions? Because a monk always have absence of these 3 stages of types of passions. Okay. A householder has only the absence of first type, Anantanubandhi Kashai. Then Vrati Shravak, 5th stage of spiritual development. He has destroyed the 2 levels, Anantanubandhi and Apratyakyan. And then when he destroys the 3rd one, Apratyakyan, then Pratyakyan. So Anantanubandhi, Apratyakyan and Pratyakyan, these are the 3 levels of passions that needs to be destroyed to attain monkhood. Likewise, real supreme contentment consists in the abjuring the intensive type of greed of the first 3 categories in the line of passions by taking refuge in the supreme contentment minded self. And the accompanying conventional contentment consists in complete avoidance of avarice and developing the highest type of contentment in day-to-day behavior. What is this exact meaning of? So avarice is lobe, greed, temptation, stinginess, rapacity, solicitation. There are so many words. It becomes very difficult which one to pick up, which will have the right kind of meaning that the writer is looking at. So this is about contentment in day-to-day behavior. Okay. Now we move on to the 5th one, the supreme truth. Uttam Satya. So Uttam Shama, Mardav, Arjav, Soch, Sanyam. No, then Soch, Satya. Then this comes. Supreme truth. Okay. Speech is the modification of matter which has no religion sense. The purity of our being that comes with the support of our eternal sentient soul, having abjured the 3 stages of the intense type of passions, is real supreme truth. And our accompanying leanings towards speaking the truth in our day-to-day behavior is conventional truth. So how can speech be a matter of pure manifestation? So speech itself is a udgal. It's a kind of matter. Okay, so it cannot be the manifestation of truth. Virtues cannot be manifested by the help of speech or bodily activities. Okay, the purity of our being that comes with the support of our eternal sentient soul, having abjured the 3 stages of the intensest type of passion is real supreme truth, and our accompanying leaning towards speaking the truth in our day-to-day behavior is conventional truth. So there is one real truth and there is conventional truth. So talking truth by speech, manifesting your thoughts, not lying. These are all behavior of conventional truth. Okay. Then we move on to the sixth one. In the same manner, supreme self-restraint. So this is Sanyam Dharma. This was Satya. Okay. In the same manner, supreme self-restraint, that is Sanyam, consists in the absence of the three stages of the intense type of passions and the consequent purity of our being. And the conventional self-restraint consists in complete abjurement of violence and other sins and control of the five senses in fitness with the state of monkhood. So there are 12 avirati, and these 12 aviratis are 5 प्रकार की हिंसा and मतलब 5 प्रकार के पाप, and और है 5 इंद्रियों के विषय और मन का विषय. So in total there are 12 restraints which a monk undergoes, and that is called Uttam Sanyam Dharma. Okay. Supreme self-restraint. You have made things very clear. If you have time, please explain these more explicitly. Jinesh, I have no time at present. I have to go to attend the discourse. We have lectures on 10 virtues every evening. So we have this 10 days parva, and every day one virtue is explained. So in 10 days, 10 virtues are explained. You can come there and understand these virtues in all their perspectives. I have to tell you briefly about austerity and renunciation. The purity of the soul as a consequence of the absence of the three passions. So this particular purity is the real dharma. The purity of the soul as a consequence of the absence of the three passions with the support of the eternal sentient soul is real supreme austerity. Tap and the accompanying observances of fast, etc., being meritorious are conventional austerity. So this conventional austerity binds auspicious karma, and this real austerity, it helps in dissociating the karmas. This is the basic difference. Now move on to the next one, which is called Tyag, Uttam Tyag, renunciation. The purity of the soul that materializes with the complete absence of the three types of passions with the support of our eternal sentient being is supreme renunciation, and the meritorious inclination of charity is dan, etc., which accompany such state of the soul are called conventional renunciation. So निश्चय त्याग और व्यवहार त्याग, तप त्याग, akinchen and brahmacharya. So two are left. In the same manner, the purity of the soul consequent upon the abandoning of the three passions with our adherence to the eternal supreme beings is supreme possessionlessness, uttam akincha dharma, and the accompanying meritorious desire to renounce the worldly possessions is conventional possessionlessness. And the last one, real celibacy consists in indulging, enjoying, and merging ourselves with the eternally happiness incarnate soul, and the accompanying abandoning indulgence in woman, etc., is conventional celibacy. So there is one real part, there is one conventional part. They both go on simultaneously. So we have to understand each virtues from both the perspective, real point of view and conventional point of view. And then only we can have a complete idea of that virtue. What is the difference between the real and conventional virtues? This is the question. Jinesh, the real religion consists of the 10 virtues of supreme forbearance, etc. Etc. means you put in all the 10 words, which are instrumental to the obstruction of influx and partial and complete shedding of the bondage of the soul. So the real religion consists of these 10 virtues, which are instrumental to the obstruction of influx. So this is obstruction of influx, matlab आश्रवों का रोकना, okay, and that is called samvar, and partial and complete shedding of the bondage of the soul, that is nirjara. And the meritorious following of the forbearance is conventional religion that leads to married bondage. So this is the basic difference, that one is a true religion and the other one is only an auspicious, binds an auspicious karma. The first one results in the dissociation of the bonded karmas, and from the conventional point of view, there is no dissociation of karma. Okay, so band ka nirodh. Okay, so band ka nirodh, partial band ka nirodh is nirjara. So nirjara is again of two types, bhav nirjara and dravya nirjara. So the real point, from the real point of view, it is the purity that the soul has manifested is the real celibacy, and the abandoning indulgence in women is the conventional celibacy. So not only outside woman, but also your own spouse. Vinod, the real and conventional 10 virtues of supreme forbearance, etc. discussed about are for the monks. What about us? Since we were discussing all this in the light of the absence of 3 levels of passions, so that is only possible in a monk's life. So, answer. Religion is one for everybody. It is a different matter that the monks abjure the three grades of intense passions by their supreme effort, Ugra Purusharth, and acquire consequent purity of the soul. And the householders, in accordance with their background, so in accordance with their background means either it is a fourth stage of spiritual development or it is a fifth stage. And the householder, in accordance with their background, abandon one or two such passions. So if it is fourth stage, there is abandon of one level of passion. And if it is the fifth stage of spiritual development, then there is abandon of two such passions and achieve partial purity of the self. So a monk by its supreme effort manifest this purity with the absence of three grades, three levels of intense passions. But in a householder, he is not able to abjure the three grades of intense passions, but either he is abjuring the first level or the first and second both levels. So this is all for a householder, and we have a complete complete textbook on this 10 virtues, and I think it will be in the next session only. Okay, so we'll be reading this in details, the great festival of 10 virtues. Okay, so this is just an introduction of the names. So when the next time you read that textbook, you will not feel that you have not, you don't know anything about it. So this is just a small introduction. So this was the 9th chapter that we had completed. If you have any questions, I am ready to take up. Tomorrow we'll be taking the 10th chapter, Balbhadra Ram, and on Friday I'll be taking the 11th chapter, which is summary of homage to the Samaisar Stuti. Very short one. So it might take half an hour also. We can finish that in half an hour. So what we'll do is we'll try to finish it tomorrow itself, if we are able to complete this story. This is again a story you can just read through. There is nothing more to explain about it. But anyways, we'll be reading it in the class, and I'll be highlighting at few points which are really good for us to practice those. So we'll be completing that chapter tomorrow, and if the time is left, we will finish the last one also. But depends. And if it is not there, then on Friday we'll do it very nicely. In between, you just revise all the earlier chapters. And if you have any question, you can always ask in the class, or you can ask me personally also. So I hope that all of you have started doing that LCPA. And if anybody is having any kind of doubt about those questions, or is not able to understand it, then he can always ask me personally, and there is no issue about it. So I will not be explaining you the answer, but I can explain you the question. So that's why we have English translation also, and we are very thankful to Mr. Darshit Shah, and he got it translated through Chat GPT. But I had already done one of the questions. So the management has written that question and the other two from Darshit's Chat GPT version.
Sorry,
So
can
this
you hear
Chat
me?
GPT, things have become very fast with Chat GPT. We don't have taken so much of efforts now, just putting across on that format, and you get the translated version very fast. So this is going to be very good for us because there are many books which are yet to be translated. So with the help of this Chat GPT, they have started doing it, and maybe in another 2 months' time we will have all the books ready. By meantime, we have this English version of Das Lakshan Dharma, Tattvagyan 1 and Tattvagyan 2. Okay, I'll just see the syllabus.
Chaitanyendra.
Which one is the first paper? Hmm. Yes. So the first paper is only Dharm ke 10 Lakshan. Then we have Tattvagyan Patmala Part 1 and Ahimsa. And then we have Tattvagyan Patmala 2 and Nimit Upadan. So slowly and slowly, we will have tougher chapters coming up, and but you will be explained everything in classes, so you will not have an issue in understanding those chapters. Okay, see you tomorrow. निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना 7 बार।